Hello, band families, band parents. Mr. Shrest here to talk to you about some new progress in our instrumental and choral music programs. We are ready to begin introducing playing in school again during this pandemic, and I want to walk you through some of the procedures that we're going to use in our classroom to make this a safe and successful venture. We are going to be able to play in person if the students are agreeable, amenable to all the rules that are presented here. Of course, I've already gone through them with the students, but I want to make sure that everyone is comfortable, which is why I'm here today sharing this with you, that we're all working for the benefit of each other, that everyone helps everyone for the benefit of all, that they're going to respect the equipment that's provided to them. I'm not asking anyone to go out and buy anything new. And of course, that if anything needs to rapidly change, that communication from me top down is respected. And of course, you may be wondering, don't instruments create aerosols? Yes, they do, and they create more than speech when instruments are unmasked. But one of the things we're going to start with is that all wind instruments are going to be using special face masks this year. So I have one right here that I'd like to show you. We'll change our camera view really quickly right here. So this is the face mask that is the exact same brand and model that everyone except for a flute player or percussionist will use. Percussionists, of course, don't make any normal aerosols, any more than normal aerosols, so they just wear their regular face mask to school. But wind players actually have a special flap on their mask that the mouthpiece fits inside, and the mouthpiece itself is pretty comfortable in there, but there's little magnets on the bottom here, so when the students are not playing, they don't have this open and it's not exposed. The magnets sort of keep the mask closed. Okay, which is great. So everyone's going to be provided with one of these. They fit really tightly and comfortably. Works nicely with the glasses too. Flute players are going to have their own special masks as well, and I'll talk more about that in greater detail in a moment. But the flute essentially enters from the side here. Flutes make far, far less, in fact, the least aerosols of any wind instrument, so they don't require quite as rigorous a masking. But the other thing that we're going to do to mitigate aerosols in our rooms is that we're going to use bell covers. And so the bell cover, you might know this about instruments, but the keys are open, but the aerosols don't escape through the keys. They really are more focused through the bell of the instrument, the opening that the sound comes out of. So we're going to use these bell covers. You can see that there's an elastic band inside. And all of the bell covers that we're using have an insert, which is MERV 13. Filter material. It filters 95% of particulate matter. And these are, I was teaching the kids just the other day, we put the instrument bell on top of the pad, kind of scrunch it up with our hand, and we pull on the elastic, and there's one of these cinching plastic doodads that, like you might find on your jacket. You can see it fits nice and tight. Of course, again, the MERV 13 filter is inside there, and all of the instruments will use these. Even the tubas, we have huge filters just for the tubas. French horns have special ones where their hands go inside the instrument so they can properly hold the instrument, but everyone is accommodated. Flutes have little teeny tiny, I call them flute socks because that's cute to say, but all of the instruments that are wind instruments have bell covers. Of course, again, percussionists and string players don't require that, but they'll just be face masking as normal. And also that we are only going to be playing in the band room. For the time being, we are in cohorts, so that means we fit in the band room. But I think it's important to say that if at any point we come back to full in-person schooling this year at EWG Senior High School, we have a plan, and that's just to use the auditorium. We're able to fit far more students than we need to for each specific band class, so there's plenty of room for us to operate in the auditorium. And in both cases, whether band is in the band room or band is in the auditorium, or of course chorus in the chorus room or chorus in the auditorium, the air filtration for our school district exceeds the minimum standards by far for all three of those rooms. So we're able to do this very, very safely. We're always able to maintain a 6-foot distance no matter what room we're in. And then just finally, you can come back to this slide if you want. I'm not going to read all of these to you, but I do think it's important to just say a couple things here. One is that For as long as these students have been in the program, you can ask them this. I'm not afraid of this. We've used Mighty Mist as a sanitization tool. It's 70% alcohol or greater. That's the guarantee. And we've used it for many, many years. I've literally had a bottle of that on my desk since far, far before COVID-19 was a thing. I've used it for 20 years in my classroom, and we're going to continue to use that, which is just business as usual for us. We are requiring the students to spray their mouthpieces down at least once a day, and specifically at the end of class, so that the mouthpieces or the flute head joints don't go into the cases and sit there with any kind of particulate matter overnight. Everything gets sanitized 100% before they put it away back in the case. We do have one other quick thing here, and that is that some of the brass instruments have spit valves on them, or actually all of the brass instruments have issues with spit and how we deal with it. But we've got a plan. It's actually, speaking of the plan is linked here for you. You can open the plan. It will be included in the email that this video came from. But also, if you open this presentation, all you have to do is to click here, and it will bring you to the full plan with all of our guidance, which is there's also footnotes according to all of the research that we use to create this plan. So just important for you to know that's a thing. That's how we structured this, and worth it to also tell you that I am especially thankful to our EWG administration for revisiting this with us to make it possible for us to perform in school. But specifically you as our band parents and our chorus parents, we have always asked for a donation when you come to concerts, and whether that's happening now or not is irrelevant, but we are always responsible with those funds and spend them on the students. And we were able to purchase these masks and the filters because we were responsible with that money and because you donated that money. So thank you so much for your constant support over many, many years. This is now my 20th year here in Exeter West Greenwich, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I am also very, very thankful, particularly to POP's president, Jen Spira, but the executive board also, for meeting over Zoom several times this year, even though we're on a slightly altered schedule this year just because of COVID. But we are meeting and making sure that this was able to happen. So thanks to POPs for voting so quickly for us to get the face masks that we need. We can make this happen. We can do it for our kids, and EWG bands will be back strong. Thanks for listening to this, and feel free to email me with any of your questions, greg_sharist@ewg.k12.ri.us.